Here we are. Alvin Toffler wrote a book in 1970 called Future Shock. And it soon became a classic that predicted the anxieties of the world upending by rapidly emerging technologies, and now provides a roadmap to solve many of our modern-day crises and pressing issues. Future Shock is the classic that changed our view of tomorrow. Its startling insights into the accelerated change led a president of the United States to ask the advisors for a special report on it. It inspired composers to write symphonies. It inspired musicians to write rock music. It gave powerful new concepts to social science and added a phrase to our language. Published in over 50 countries, Future Shock is arguably the most important study of change and adaptation in our time. Underground bunkers became revived as necessities for survivalists and conspiratorialists. But in many ways, Future Shock is about our present. Aptly labeled, it's meant to intrigue and provoke and frighten and encourage and above all change in some way everyone who would read it. In the prologue, he spells out the rationale for the basis of the theory of what world citizens have to look forward to in a week or in a month or in a year or in a decade or in a century or even a millennium. Toffler asserts that in all of human history, generally agreed scientifically that there have been 800 generations of humanity. Fully 650 of those generations lived in caves. And the average age was 62. So taking it for that, there were 800 such generations. And as each generation advanced, and people lived and died and left whatever advancement they made, there was research and discoveries about the previous generation. All of this leads us to this very present generation of people living on Earth. And Toffler says that this generation, in the 800th generation, fully 95% of all the gains that were made, all the new things that we have, 95% of it, were gleaned and received and revealed in the very last generation, this generation, 800. And then Toffler, he lowers the boom. Here we are patting ourselves on the back. Oh, isn't it great, all these newfound things? Well, he says, what will be left when in the 801st generation there are no more gains but losses? No more revelations, no more initiatives to keep digging, to find things. No more life as we know it from the very beginning to the present day. What direction will this fragile earth take if it becomes uninhabitable by pollution or destruction of the ozone layer or evaporation of water or a disregard of warning signs that are already at dangerous levels? Will nuclear annihilation be merciful as a response to speed up the extinction process of people who would otherwise starve to death slowly, remaining in constant agony because every resource is gone that they used to rely on? How did the dinosaurs who roamed this earth millions of years ago become extinct? And this problem has got to take its toll on innocent people who just want peace in their lives. People who really care about where they live. But somewhere along the way, the warning signs and all the bad information has numbed them so much they don't know which way to turn. These people have played by the rules. I'm talking about you. They never gamed the system for their own self-interest. They never played funny when it came to paying taxes. These are the good peoples of the heartland. They work one, maybe two, maybe three jobs, the third one being a part-timer. They desire to keep up and feel some of that they accomplished to the good old days when it mattered how much effort you put in. But as elusive as all that is, they keep trying, they keep hoping, and they keep loving our country, they keep loving their church, and they keep loving their family. That man, Vladimir Putin, killed Alexei Navalny, a Russian Opposition Coordination Council member. 47 years old, he was a lawyer, an anti-corruption activist. He was a political prisoner. He organized anti-government demonstrations and ran for office to advocate reforms against corruption in Russia and against President Vladimir Putin and his government. It was said that he embezzled funds twice. I'm sure that did not happen. But I'm sure also that there isn't a person in this sanctuary or any other person on planet Earth who doesn't believe that this was murder in cold blood. It's one of the many he's committed while he was protecting his corrupt oligarchy. Let's see, there was Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, Sergei Yushchenko, Anna Politkovskaya, Alexander Litvinenko, Natalia Estemirova, Sergei Magnitsky, Boris Nemtsov, to name a few. Killed them, just killed them. The latest addition is, of course, Alexei Navalny, imprisoned political politician who crusaded against the official corruption and led these massive anti-Kremlin protests, earning him the ire of Putin, who made a point not to mention his name in public. He died on February 16th. He was serving a 19-year sentence. He was healthy, and he felt ill after a walk earlier in the day, and then he lost conscience. An ambulance arrived, but he could not be revived. The statement said, adding the cause of death was being established. And then, let's not forget, Jamal Khashoggi. I forgot about him. The Saudi dissident journalist who went to get his marriage application from the Istanbul office on October 2nd, 2018. Killed by agents of the Saudi government in the consulate in Istanbul, Turkey. Khashoggi was ambushed and strangled by a 15-member squad of Saudi operatives. His body was dismembered and disposed of. He was a legal resident of the United States of America. And one question might be asked, why are we still buying oil from Saudi Arabia? The murder was premeditated, and some of those killers on the Saudi hit team were closely connected to Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and were well trained by secret KGB agents acting clandestinely on the direct orders of, you guessed it, President Vladimir Putin. The Crown Prince continues his playboy lifestyle unmolested by anyone. See, there is a distinct lesson here that the Russian president has yet to understand or care about, and that is that you can kill the dreamer, but you'll never kill the dream. President Vladimir Putin is alleged to have looted his country of $135 billion in kickbacks and unchecked grift. His business oligarchs in Russia love him. He is their protection from any interference of any pesky opposition, of leaders who still want to give their lives to fighting this monster. He's a vicious criminal who should be tried at The Hague for crimes against humanity, for crimes that he's committed against Russia, for crimes against open and free elections of the United States of America, for war crimes against the sovereign nation of Ukraine, who never did a damn thing to deserve this nightmare of abuse. As bad as all that is, the United States has something that Russia and Saudi Arabia and Turkey and North Korea and mainland China and Pakistan don't have. We have, in the United States, a United States Constitution, and we defend that document with our bodies, our souls, and our minds. We take oaths to preserve, protect, and defend it. Unitarian Universalists know something others would do well to be aware of. As we have never been aware of before, our election is coming on November 5th. And what could possibly be at stake? How about, for starters, the fate of all civilization as we know it? Well, today I must utter these words. I'm afraid for my nation. I'm afraid for all of us. This is the land of the free and the home of the brave. I want us to stay free, and I'm begging you to be brave. It's true, we're entering a new era. Dictators fall hard, like a lead safe off a 6-story building. They hung Mussolini and his girlfriend upside down in the public square. It took 10 years, but we got Osama bin Laden in a Pakistan safe house while he was watching pornography. Adolf Hitler actually killed his girlfriend, Eva Braun, and his dog before he put a bullet in his own head. But before he shot the bullets, he cowardly gave the instruction to his soldiers, security men, to pour gasoline over the 3 of them and burn their bodies. His 1,000-year Reich lasted barely 12 years. Joseph Stalin was paranoid, and he told his security men, never come into my bedroom, ever. Never, ever come into my bedroom unless I tell you to. Well, there he was on the floor, suffering from a massive stroke and dying alone. Medical experts said if he was rushed to a hospital, he had a good chance that he might have lived. Who knows? Who cares? And I'm happy to report to anyone who will listen, there's a bright day of hope. Ever so faint on the horizon, the chief big guy of the Proud Boys received 22 years in jail for his premeditated and planned insurrection on January 6, 2021. A few days ago, he confessed that the 2020 election was legitimate and everyone knew it. Now we need to see how fragile our country is and how quickly our freedoms can be stolen from us. Don't take anything for granted. Don't think the cavalry will come and rescue us. That was yesterday's thinking. We used to feel safe in our country. And after 9/11 and January 6th, we came to realize that if our great country has its best days yet ahead of it, we must change the paradigm. We must see ourselves as the cavalry. Old keys don't open new doors. You simply can't take rights away from some people that you formerly gave those rights to. You can't do that. You cannot gut the Voting Rights Act that so many of our people came to depend on for free and fair elections. And the saddest thing of all is that all these abused people asked for was that their vote should count. And I assure you now more than ever, it will. You cannot anymore redistrict or gerrymander your way into Congress. People are very smart now, as they've never been before. Simply put, you can't double down on trickle-down taxation so that the rich people get richer and the poor get poorer. You can't stand by as a spectator and watch poor people starve while rich people feast on caviar. You'll be indicted for remaining silent as you get richer on the necks and backs of other people that you rob every day. As a powerful person, you'll never again rob powerless people of their dignity and their self-worth. Playing politics today is much different than the game of politics was back in the day. Yes, the game is the same, but you'll be exposed for who you are. A grifter with absolutely no moral compass. We know something that you don't know. Old keys cannot open new doors. Old loyalties from corrupt secret deals cannot be counted on anymore to bail you out. This is a new day. Your feeble and insulting attempts to convince voters that you are the new and improved Governor Huey Long of Louisiana will be seen for what it is, a failed power grab disguised as red meat for your base. That may have been yesterday's strategy. Now you have to win on merit. And let me assure you, Today, your adolescent behavior, your conspiracies, your shallow, selfish, and diseased leadership will be voted out of office. That much we do know, and that much we promise as we successfully take our country back from the edge of the abyss. We simply cannot live with a partisan lifetime appointed Supreme Court. We're the only country that has that, a partisan lifetime Supreme Court. Today, different from what you used to get away with, we will end the dirty old Citizens United and replace it with clean and comprehensive campaign finance reform. All we are asking for is for you to be true to what you said on paper. Black lives do matter. The way our African American brothers and sisters have been mistreated, abused, and black and blue is nothing short of outright betrayal of an insensitive conduct reflecting manifest destiny and your mistaken assumption about superior white privilege. We say no more, no more, no more. We're thankful indeed that our brothers and sisters of color are demanding just equality and not revenge. You used to cut backroom deals to buy the seats of public officials. You used to use your old keys to open the doors of Congress and get whatever you wanted. You never even looked at bills you sponsored to become law. They were written for you by lobbyists. Old keys used to work, and nobody was the wiser. I submit to you today, your old keys won't even open your new jail cell door. So what does this mean to you and me as we try to live Unitarian lives, Unitarian Universalist lives of political purity and political compassion? 535 representatives have time after time betrayed the public trust. They trusted you, the public, and they gave you their vote, something more valuable than insider trading without penalties. They get that too. Today, we won't let you forget the people who need you the most. You have some nerve increasing your own personal wealth on the necks and backs of working class poor. Yesterday, you did all you could to mold public sentiment to your way of reasoning. Today, you've gone too far. We believe our best days are yet ahead of us for all Americans and for immigrants coming here for sanctuary and peace. Remember the famous words by Senator Joseph Welch? He had finally had enough. On behalf of every American, he asked the committee chairman, Joseph McCarthy, right there in the Senate hearings on un-American activities, have you no decency, sir? Well, yesterday the NRA used to hand out PAC money like they were lollipops in the candy store. That was the key to re-election for many people. Then when your pathetic patriotism required you more from the dozens of mass shootings, all you could mutter at grieving mothers was, "Our thoughts and prayers are with you." Yes, if America is to be a great nation, this must be true. For all people, all the tired, huddled masses yearning to breathe free. In 1883, Emma Lazarus remembered all the people. She called them the wretched refuge of our teeming shore, yearning to breathe free. She spoke for the lady in the harbor and said, "Send these, the homeless. The tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door." And all we ask is that you be true to what you said on paper. Perhaps the most unlikely friendship I can ever remember having was with a man who was a folk singer. He was famous. I didn't know how famous he was. I really didn't, until other people told me that he was famous. So maybe I should have listened to his music. His name was Pete Seeger, and he lived near me. And I got to meet his wife, Toshi. And, well, he was blacklisted by the House Un-American Activities, and he wasn't invited to appear on TV for 17 years. But he bought a boat, a 108 feet boat, a sailboat, And he called me up and said, I want you to come and ride on the boat with me. I said, that's great. Do you know how to sail a boat? Nope, I don't. We're going to go in the Hudson River to tell people to clean up the water, and you're going to sail it? That's right. But that's dangerous. Of course it's dangerous, he said. But the water being polluted is dangerous as well. Don't you know that we have now clean water? He named the boat Clearwater. And he would get groups on there and play his banjo. And the Hudson River is clean now because of efforts of people like Pete Seeger. Well, the Smothers Brothers asked him to come on their show in 1966. The first time that anybody had asked him to do that. Woody and Arlo Guthrie taught Pete how to sing a new song, a love song that expressed their feelings for this country. You know, so you know how it goes. This land is your land. Oh, here he is. Yeah. Yes. California to the New York Island, and the land is made for you and me. As I was walking at Ribbon Valley, and the skyway, I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. Well, that's it. Thank you so much. Well, we're really working our director of music today. No doubt about it. You know, much of the time we're just lost. We say, please tell us what is right. Tell us what is true. I mean, there is no justice. The rich win and the poor are powerless. We become tired of hearing people lie. And after a time, we become dead. A little dead. We think of ourselves as victims. And we become victims. We become weak. We doubt ourselves. We doubt our beliefs. We doubt our institutions. And we doubt the law. But today, you are the rule of law. Unitarian Universalist Church of Tampa. You are the rule of law, not some book. Not the elected officials. Not marble statues or the trappings of our institutions. You see, these are just the symbols of our desire to be just. They're in fact a prayer. I mean, a fervent and frightening prayer. In my religion, they say, act as if you have faith, and faith will be given unto you. If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves and act with justice. You see, I believe that there is justice in our hearts. Thank you, Martin.